Ladies and gentlemen, dear UM6P community, here we are for the second episode of the 5 o'clock tea podcast. In this episode, we have a new guest, someone who is going to be telling us a lot again about his country, but we will dive all together into the African cultures and African history. Today with me, Mr. Kingsley Omega. They call him King actually in campus. Nice. Mr. Kingsley Omega is a PhD student at MSN department. King, thank you very much for accepting the invitation.
You're welcome, my pleasure.
If you can briefly introduce yourself to our audience, King.
All right. My name is Kingsley Omega Chuckle. I'm a PhD student at MSN. I'm into sodium-ion batteries.
Okay.
Yeah, so good to be in Morocco. It has been a wonderful experience.
Yes. Of course, you of course had certain ideas about Morocco, but when you first came, you're there. You are landed in
Casablanca. Yes.
Then your way to Benguerir, then the campus, then meeting your colleagues, then meeting the directors of your school, then meeting the teachers, then etc. So.
Okay, very interesting question.
I know it's a long
yes, but I'll be brief.
No,
I'll be so brief. Yeah. Okay, funny enough, when I got the admission to Morocco, it was in French. So I was like...
You were in France?
No, I was in Nigeria, but the admission letter was in French.
In French? Okay.
Yes. So I don't even know what it is. I just saw an email, so I quickly had to do the translation. So I saw.
Did you take it to somebody or you?
No, I just did Google Translation. So I saw congratulations. So I was like, Morocco. No, actually, from the advert that was given to us, it was a very, very rich program.
Okay.
And it was nothing short of my experience when I came to MSN UMCSP. Yeah. So it's like, how do I put it now? It's a unique program that. I can say it is not offered anywhere in the world.
Okay, yes.
Because in the field of material science, this is a program that brings the old arms of material science. So I did a little research. I want to be so truthful here. So Morocco, what is it about Morocco? Morocco, when I went through just my little research, I thought it's a very good country, accommodating and the rest, of course. So I had to book my flights. I came down to Casablanca. What I saw was like, wow, this is, of course, every country is developing, but this is something encouraging. Yeah. Like something, should I say, similar to Europe.
Okay.
Yes, I've not been to Europe, of course, but from what I've seen, this is something I used to see around. So the train system was one thing that impressed me the first time I came.
Okay.
So they told me, when you stop at Casablanca, don't come through Marrakesh, come through Casablanca. There's a train station at the Casablanca airport, so you can take it down to Benguerir. And I was so happy when I got into the train. It was clean. Yeah. I was like, wow, this is good. And the timing, they tell you this time is going. Yep. It sounds local, but some things we don't experience where we are coming from. Okay. So when we see them here, we tend to appreciate them. All right. So the train system was something also that was like, wow, this is commendable. Then when I came into the university, when I saw the structure, I was like, this is... When they took me, this is the place I would love to. Of course, and if you want to do well in academics, you also need an accommodating environment.
Of course,
which is something that UMCSP provides. Yeah. So when I came into it, the laboratory exceptional. Like when it comes to the equipment, the facilities, the professors. Thanks to you also, was able to help us understand and take our English exams and the rest. So it's top-notch in summary, the experience I've had so far. So I noticed also when I came to Morocco, you stick with the two names.
We have two names, yes.
Yeah, before we have a lot of names. Just as diverse as we are with our culture. That is our...
So yes, I believe that also the name reflects the diversity that exists
and
in the country.
Every name has a meaning. So depending on the state or the condition that the child is being given birth to. So you tend to give the child a name befitting to that condition.
What do you mean by condition?
For example, if a mother goes through a lot
Okay.
For example, during the pregnancy, he had a lot of struggle.
Given the
exactly.
the birth.
So you can hear a name like Uchechukwu,
Okay.
just to say, okay, this is God's will.
Okay.
So maybe I struggled, but by God's will or by God's help, I was able to give birth to this child.
Very interesting. Very impressive.
If it is in the festive occasion, for example, you hear names like Ayomide, maybe the joy of the Lord, just the joy.
Okay.
So just to show it was like in a happy mood.
So each, let's say, if I meet a Nigerian, then probably, I mean, it's fine if I ask him about
what's Nigerian
name. Your, let's say, native name.
Exactly.
Like the meaning of his or her native name, depending on the context where she or he
was giving birth to. Exactly. So, but this was practiced by, of course, the old parents. But for the new ones now, because of religion that's coming, so they feel certain things are not to be done. So nowadays, what they do is they just look for the good names.
Okay.
That they can find either in the Quran or in the Bible to give to their children. But for those that was before us, it was what happened during the pregnancy of the
pregnancy,
child.
Between pregnancy and of
that
course
they give the name to the child. And again, it will interest you to know that not just you is permitted to name your child. So you as the parent, you have one name for the child. Your mother, which is the grandmother of the
has
child,
also the right to name.
Right
and how you know, it's like
he has a lot of so you have a lot of names.
Well, yeah, of course we also do that. Like the mother wants to name the child, the father wants to name the child, the grandmother from the father wants to the grandfather, etc. Sometimes we have this kind of, we gather all the names in small pieces of paper, and then there is one person who
to choose.
Sometimes the father is not happy with the mother. No, we should. So it's quite the same thing. Yes,
very interesting. Before we would give all to the child, so you have to go with them all.
All right.
But of course, you can just choose 3, which will be known with you, use for your schooling system. But at home, you will be surprised. You are calling me Kingsley. At home, they don't call me Kingsley.
Of course, yes, I can imagine this. So Kingsley is your name that maybe
official name, let's say like that. Then
at home, it's a different name.
Yes. But going back to, let me now say, outside the school, because of course, what I just explained is within the school premises.
Now this is what I'm interested in, actually.
All right. So going outside the school, language is a barrier, of course. But I normally go with...
You haven't learned any Derije yet?
And I have learned some, of course. Like I can say Wahad, Jush, Talata, Arba. So at least I know a little, just little, Shwiya.
Shwiya, a little, okay.
So, but another experience I want to share with you was the experience we had in Marrakesh, me and my friend.
Okay.
So we were able to go to the hospital in Marrakesh. So he wanted to undergo a surgery.
All right.
So I came to stay with him because he's a Nigerian. And in a typical Nigerian setting, you cannot just go to the hospital yourself. So I went with him. We met the doctor. Okay, they said he's going to be having his surgery in 2 days' time. So I said, okay, I came to stay with him. So I was surprised. They said, no, you cannot stay.
So what I understand is that in Nigeria, if someone is going to the hospital, somebody should or must go with him.
Should go with him.
Okay, fine. And up to now is fine. This is what happens here. If it's something really bad, you can't go to the hospital by your own. You can't drive, whatever. Somebody should go with you, whether your mother, father, wife, friend, whatever. So fine until now. But in Nigeria, somebody must stay with the patient.
Not must, but somebody should stay.
Should stay.
Yes.
Like should stay
with you.
During all the period.
During all the period. When he goes, somebody else comes to stay. Maybe not 100% Nigerian, but 80% this is the case because we believe that going to the hospital for first is not even something that you want to do.
Of course, nobody. Nobody wants.
Exactly. So somebody we want this emotional, let me say, mental support. So
this is very impressive. This is nice. So you guys in Nigeria, you go with the patient, and you should stay with him during the period. Until he's fine.
Yes, to keep him company, to cheer him up, tell him he's going to be fine. Don't worry, you're
So
coming
it's
out
not like
strong.
visiting, because
No.
what we do it, you go, but there are like times of
Visitation.
visiting.
Yes.
So you can't just stay in there, but you guys, you stay.
We stay, not maybe
Fantastic.
when you say, okay, let's put it, maybe the top hospitals.
No, just fantastic.
Yeah, but for the common Nigerians, you stay. So you stay with the patients, either the mother, the father, the sister, the friend. We even come, we have time, you change, just to keep the person company.
No, this is great. Why I see this as a great thing, because you are giving moral support to the
Yes.
patient. Aside from, I'm sure there are nurses, etc. But this
is typical African for us.
This is typical
yes,
African.
you may say it is. What does it mean? Somebody can contact or contract illness, but to us, we don't care. We care about the person going through what is going through. For example, my mom doesn't care if what I'm going through maybe affects her. Of course, maybe, but she loves me so much to want to take care of me even in that state. You get it? So we feel like it's necessary for somebody to be with you.
Right.
Apart from the visiting, you come visit, but you should stay and just be with the person.
Aside from the nurses, etc., but your family is with you in order to.
Exactly. Now coming back to the nurses, of course, yes, they told me the nurses are here to do that for you. But I can tell you of a truth. Even the same person was telling me, yes, the nurses, they do their best, but of course they don't stay to one person.
Yes.
So they have a lot of people to attend to. But what happens when that particular person is?
Yes. I see it as also as, using the family also as
exactly
nursing staff, whatever.
Free of charge.
So your family is there actually, to attend to you, but without being paid.
Yes, just in case there's something you need, just to make you feel comfortable.
Incredible. Africa has a lot to give to the world. I mean, just like the way we do things,
our identity.
Our identity. These practices can't be lost.
Exactly.
It can be lost.
Yes.
Bringing the family being there is a full support. And I believe that is much better than the support that the doctor gives,
which is good.
It's
huge,
wonderful. Of course, yes. But sometimes
also,
when the moral support or the emotional support lacks,
exactly,
then the let's say the medical thing
may not be.
And
there are certain things that just your mom knows about you.
Yes.
There are certain things just your dad knows about you.
Indeed.
At that particular moment, she or he can just do it.
So this is in all the parts of Nigeria. So this is
yes, but maybe when you go to the top class. But I think there should also be a provision for the family to be there, because I've never seen any person that goes to the hospital alone. All my stay in Nigeria, you come either with somebody. If not, this case now I'm saying one. You can even come with 2, 3, just to be with.
So you can come with your little brothers, etc.
Yeah, because they want to see you get fine.
Yeah,
everybody's concerned.
And this brings us, for example, to the typical African family.
Yes,
that is very, kind of solid.
In fact, in my culture, you are not just the parent of your child.
Yes.
No, not just you.
Your uncle is
also. He has rights to.
It's true. Like even in Morocco, we have the same thing. Even in Morocco.
Nice.
So, for example, my uncle, I'm not only the parent of my daughter.
Exactly.
Her uncle as well.
Yes.
Her aunt as well.
Yes.
Her grandmother.
Yes.
And everybody participate in the.
Yes.
Kind of
in the building.
Participative.
Yes.
Educational, whatever. We can think of a name for it.
Yes.
So everybody participates in the raising of a child.
Yes.
And I guess this actually helps the personality.
Very true.
It helps in making the upbringing easier to the parents.
And a robust kind of upbringing. Because even you as a parent, of course, you are sound, you're smart, you're intelligent, but maybe you are not able to give to that child a fraction of what the child will need. The child may get it from the teacher, from your neighbor. That is why, going back, we need a healthy community, because the child learns and interacts with the community too. So it needs to be healthy for the child to learn, not just from the family. Of course, the child learns beginning from the family, but it doesn't stay in the family. It goes to the community. So the community should be also healthy to be able to train up that child before it goes to the states and before the nation. So we say the nation, but it starts from the family down to the community before it goes.
And very interesting. Very interesting. Now, I just have another question is, I know that also in Nigeria you speak different languages. And I'm sure, I guess in the north they speak the Yoruba, no?
In the west, Yoruba.
Yoruba in the west.
In the north, Hausa.
So what is your local language in the north?
Hausa.
Hausa.
Yes. But I'm not from the north.
Okay. You were born in the north.
In the north.
Ah, okay.
So of course by
originally
from the east.
From the east.
Yes.
So now you have that eastern part and
the
that northern part.
Exactly.
Okay. But Hausa is spoken in the north.
Yes.
Is it different from the Yoruba in somehow?
Very different.
Very different.
Yes. And Hausa is not just a Nigerian language. Hausa is an African language. Yes, and it's to interest you to know that Hausa is from the Afro-Asiatic language family, which Arabic is also. So before the British colonial masters came, it was the Alami model or the script.
Okay.
So in Nigeria we have the Roman script, which is brought in by the British, and we have the Alami script.
Alami?
Yes.
What is
Alami? I think in Arabic it means borrowed. Alami or something, yeah.
Alami.
Yes, so it's where Hausa is derived from Arabic.
Okay.
It will interest you to know that Ashirin is 20 in Hausa.
Ashirin is 20 in Hausa?
Arba'in is 40.
Okay.
Okay, just that Hamsin is 50, but I know here Hamsin is not 50.
Hamsin is 50.
Okay, Talatin is 30.
30, yes.
This is Hausa. So Hausa is from Arabic, but it's from the Alami script.
Okay.
Before the Roman people came.
Yes, and it uses the Alami script.
Yes, which is the typical borrowed Arabic.
Okay.
Yes. So, and again, during the spread of Islam and the trade, the trade between the West Africans.
Yes.
So that was how Islam came in, and that was where the Hausa language came into.
We have the word Hausa.
Yes.
We use it in the which is differently.
Yes.
It's a complete thing, completely different thing.
Wow.
But when I heard Hausa, automatically I thought of
it's
the word we use in
so
the region.
It's owned by the Northerners, and I can tell you for free that borrowed Arabic languages are there.
Okay. So it's easy for you then to learn.
Yes, to learn Darija, because when I want to count the numbers, I tend to relate it with the Hausa.
Are there any other similarities? So numbers, you have 20, 30, 40, 50.
Yeah, most of the Salam Alaikum, Walaikum Salam, they are all in Hausa too.
Okay.
Yes, so it's a lot similar. I can tell you for free.
So now you need to learn Darija as soon as possible.
Of course. So going back to your question, Nigeria is a linguistic powerhouse.
Yes, I know.
We have, just like over 500 languages.
500 languages.
More than 500 languages.
More than 500
yes.
languages. And they are completely different from each other.
Yes. Depending on the culture. We know we have 250 plus ethnic groups. So each of the ethnic groups, they own their language. And even in that ethnic group, they have diversity also.
Like within ethnic groups, you also have sub-ethnic groups.
Exactly.
Which is kind of,
For example, let me say we have Casablanca, Rabat, if they are from the same place. Casablanca will have their own language. Rabat will have their own. So for we, the Easterners, we have 5 Eastern states. In Nigeria. We have the Imo State, Anambra State.
And each state, of
has
course,
their own kind of Igbo. Igbo is for the Eastern, but each state have their own typical dialect.
Okay.
So that's to tell you how diverse.
Okay.
But the 3 major languages are Hausa, Yoruba, and Igbo.
Yoruba, yes.
Yoruba
I
is
know
known
Yoruba
for the
from-
West.
Studied some, African literature.
Exactly.
And I know
Like the great Olosoyinka is a Yoruba.
of course. Well,
Yes.
Yolis Soyinka and
Chinua Achebe is from the
yes,
from the
and I
East.
still remember like this one book, the Palm Wine Drinker, and it was one of the first books written in Africa in English during the colonial period,
Yes.
and it was published in England, by the way. But the language was I would say incorrect
Incorrect English. Yes.
but it was published.
Oh, good. And talking about incorrect English, there's what we call the pidgin English
Yes. That's it.
in Nigeria.
Yes, that's
Just like you have the Darija.
Yes.
So what we do with the pidgin English is, I can say we own the pidgin English, but it is debatable.
Yeah.
It can be said that the Ghanaians
Yes.
so what we do was we took the whole languages come together.
Yeah.
So we pick a word, we transform it, and we share it among ourselves.
Yeah. It's a way of, kind of appropriating the language.
Yes.
It's like mine, own it.
Yes.
And then completely change it.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a sort of at that time, and
Yes.
in colonial studies and post-colonial studies, they
Yes.
say it's a way of resistance.
Yes.
So by changing the language of the colonizer
And make it
and then making it
suits-
suit my own ends,
Yes.
etc.
And we use
But
it.
back then, this novel actually was very impressive, and I don't remember actually the writer, but I know that many famous writers actually come from Nigeria. For example, Ben Okri.
Yes.
Ben Okri lives is a Nigerian writer based in England,
Yes.
based in London, and he wrote one great novel that is called The Famished Road, which I highly recommend
For people to
read. It's one of the best.
Wow.
And I say the best.
Then for
Not only African, one of the best novels to come worldwide.
yes.
And I really recommend it for our students to read. It's called The Famished Road.
Okay.
And now we know that Morocco is hosting the 2025 African Cup.
Cup of Nations. Yes.
So are there any members of family? Are you inviting anybody to come and watch the games?
Funny enough, but when
it's Nigeria. I guess Nigeria is it? Okay.
Yes.
I said yes,
So-
but we're going to win for sure. This cup is ours.
no,
It should be ours this time.
But now I'm a Nigerian, and I have a touch of Morocco.
Okay, so
I also support Morocco.
So you're going actually to support Morocco for
Yes.
sure.
So talking about inviting somebody, I can remember the last African Player of the Year that was held in Marrakesh.
Mm-hmm.
My uncle was like, Kingsley, hope you attended I said, no, I'm in Benguerir, but I'm close to
Well,
yeah. So, but talking about if we go to the final, of course,
all right.
most Nigerians are going to come to support the
Of
team.
course, sports they help a lot in
Yes.
bringing people together, and this is also a chance for also Moroccans, because we have been hosting many sport games, etc. But I guess this one
It's a
would be
big,
unique
one.
Plus the 2030 World
World
Cup,
Cup,
which
it's
also,
together
also
with-
will be
yes.
a special thing happening.
And that'll be the
not
second
only
time.
for us,
yes.
because things happen in Morocco, but it's not only for Morocco,
It's
it's
for
the
Africa.
for Africa for
Yes,
sure.
yes.
Namely the 2025 African Cup, but also the 2030 World
Yes.
Cup. So I'm sure these two big events, they would bring
Yes, a lot of us together.
more closer to each other.
Yes, and I must confess that Morocco, you people are doing very well in terms of how you're building your team.
Okay.
I think your coach now has a plan which is working with, and you can see the progress of the team.
Yeah.
And your team, you have a young team now, which
Yes.
is also a plus.
You see, when we invest in young people, there are always results.
Yes.
And we know that
Very good point.
Africa is
60%.
Yes, you see my
The
point.
population is youth, which is a strength
yes.
that we can. No, a very good point. So we can also capitalize on that youthfulness of Africa.
Yeah.
And just like you said, how do we bring those youthful people into productivity? Of course, we need to build on the educational system, just like you said, make it more robust. Then I also the school of thought where the industrialization of a lot of things that we consume, we can, like in Nigeria, there's a place they call Aba.
Aba.
Aba is a famous city in the east.
Okay.
And this is a place where we make look like footwears, the shoes you put on the clothes locally.
Okay. We have.
Yeah, so we make them locally and we can take them outside to sell.
Okay.
So, but what we are trying to do is trying to make sure we make it a global industry. And I think if we can have this scattered across Africa, we are able to produce those things that we consume.
See your point because, for example, achievements in a certain, let's say, sector or field might also impact achievements in a different field. So if we do well in a certain field, of course, this will be beneficial for... the example is the Moroccan achievement in the World Cup.
Yes.
This was a huge
huge
achievement, but also it helped in achieving certain accomplishing great things, in different sectors.
Yes.
So step by step,
we're getting there.
We're getting there. So
yes. And I can tell you, come 2030 World Cup, there will be this expectation from African teams because Morocco has set a standard in the previous World Cup.
Yeah,
so everybody...
Well, we also set
for yourself.
Set a standard for ourselves now.
So you have to...
African Cup.
Yeah, so until you beat that standard, people... So that is the good thing about stepping up. It also puts you on your toes. So I think, just like you said, Africa is getting there. Yeah. In the nearest years to come, we'll be able to...
Now I have something now, in one word, and this is something actually, it's going to be like a custom in my, in this podcast, in the 5 o'clock tea podcast. One word from your own language to describe UM6P.
Fantastic.
No, in your own...
Okay, in my own word.
Language, sorry.
In my language. So which do I choose now? Because I have a lot of languages.
It's up to you.
Okay, it's up to me.
Maybe Hausa.
Okay, maybe Hausa.
Yeah.
Let me go with the Pidgin English.
Okay.
So I will use the Pidgin English.
Okay.
Kampe.
Kampe. Kampe.
Kampe. Kampe.
Kampe, which means?
Complete.
Complete. Kampe.
Complete. Yeah.
Okay, interesting. Now, one word to describe Morocco.
My local language.
You.
Okay,
yes.
I can choose.
You choose.
Or English or anywhere.
No,
okay.
I prefer one of your local languages.
Okay. Let me go with Pidgin also because I'm more comfortable with Pidgin. So Morocco as a country. Okay, it's like a phrase, but it's a word.
Okay.
Makes sense.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
It's Pidgin English.
Pidgin English.
But it's from making sense.
Making sense. Makes sense.
Makes sense.
Which means?
Which means is how do I put it now? It's good.
Good.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Somehow. Perfect. Yeah. Okay. It makes sense. It's great.
Makes sense. Probably you think about teaching Pidgin English.
Again, the Pidgin English is diverse. We have Pidgin English in the Wari in the south, in the north.
We do also have, something similar here. Yeah. Using, French and Darija and,
mix them together.
Changing it to come up with a different language.
Yes.
Okay, so thank you very much,
my pleasure.
Kingsley, for this amazing episode.
My pleasure.
Thank you very
so much for having me.
We learned a lot. Myself, I learned a lot about Nigeria, and I hope your stay in Morocco is actually as you wish. I know you're hardworking. You're also smart student, and I know this. So keep it up, and wish you the best of luck.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much,
ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very much for watching us. I hope this episode was rich. I hope it was also informative. Stay tuned for other episodes only on Times of UM6P.